Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog a day, and today is Sunday the 31st, New Year's Eve as well. Got this morning earlier than I wanted to, kind of is what it is. Wasn't too bad, but got up, got a couple things done, got the dogs out, all that good fun stuff that required it. Wife got up and got around, so I was able to get the dogs back in and fed real quickly. Wife got up pretty early also. We were taking off to run up to a restaurant called Ant Catfish to do their Sunday brunch buffet. My father-in-law had said he wanted to take us out for a meal as like our Christmas gift to everybody. So I was like, okay, saw this one online. Somebody had did a little vlog about it, and kind of talked about eating there in the buffet and kind of made it appear to be a pretty nice looking buffet. And I'm like, okay, so I looked it out, and they had an early bird special. If you're there before, I think it's before 11. They open at 9. If you're there before, maybe it's 10 or 11, I'm not sure what time it was. If you get there before then, you can save an extra $5, so it's only like $30 instead of $35, or $25 instead of $30 per person kind of thing. So I'm like, cool, no big deal. We went up there to eat. So I wasn't really certain. My father-in-law is not a early morning person, so I'd reached out to my wife and said, hey, have you actually called your father and spoke to him to make sure he's awake and up? And she said, yep, 100%. So I said, okay, cool. So I got the dogs cared for. Didn't not feed Bruce, because a lot of times not long after Bruce eats, he has to go outside and poop again. And I knew we were gonna be gone for a couple hours, maybe 3 hours max. I didn't want him to either try and hold it or be unable to hold it and have to poop in the house. So went ahead and got the dogs set up and ready to go. Pulled the curtains so the dogs wouldn't see people pull in the driveway or drive down the street and start barking and get themselves worked up into nothing. Because the Mastiff I've got has a real big bark, and she gets to barking at things outside pretty commonly. So didn't want that to happen. And I'd spoke to the owners when they wanted me to watch the dog the other day. Kind of did a last minute request, and I'm like, hey, I need you to call me because I need to know how she does alone. I've never left her alone before, and want to know how she would do it. And they said, oh, she does fine. He goes, truthfully, you can take her and leave her in the truck when you're in there. I'm like, well, not here in Florida, because it's majorly against the law. Even if the air conditioner's on, even the temperature's fine, whatever, it's still against the law to leave a dog in a car here, regardless of what's going on. So went ahead and we chatted about that a little bit. She said, yeah, it should be fine there, all good. So I said, cool, sounds good. So went ahead and left them there. Went out, got in the car. Father-in-law was supposed to come over. Sat in the car for a while. It was chilly. It's like 40 something here today, which is ridiculous. Anything below 60 is just stupid, and anything in the 40s is absolutely just ridiculous. There's never be a temperature like that on the planet. That's just dumb. So, not where a human should live anyway. I hate it. So got there, father-in-law finally came over, and we headed up. My wife and her father rode in the back seat, and then my mom and I rode in the front. My wife sat behind me. She had shorter legs, which her dad ain't much taller than she is, but went ahead, and that we kind of had a little more leg room. So headed up to the restaurant, got there right about 9 o'clock, and we had, they call it preferred seating, I guess, whatever. You can put your name on the list. Not really a reservation, but it, I guess, moves you up on the waiting list or something. I don't know. But I thought we're getting there right as they open, so it shouldn't be that big a deal. Get there, and the place is slam packed. Like, I'd say 75% of the tables are already full, and people are eating. Like, you can tell they're second or third plate. I'm like, the place opens at 9. How is it now 9:03, and this place is slam packed, and there was nobody in line? Like, they took us right to our seat. They originally said, you gotta wait, blah, blah, and they got us the table. So I got us the table, sat down, went and got in line, and those three decided they were gonna wait in line for the omelets and the made to order omelets and pancakes. I'm like, I'm not waiting for that. That's no reason for that. So I hit the rest of the buffet. It was crazy packed. Food was good. It was not spectacular. I have zero interest in ever really going back there for that price, because it was like $100 for the four of us. That's a lot, so probably not what I would do again. I would actually go to either a nicer high end, because for $25 I can get a real steak, kind of thing. So, but it was a good time. As we were heading over there, it was funny. We were walking across the parking lot, and there's across the street, the parking lot's on the other side of the street. And my father-in-law decided to stop in the middle of the street, with cars coming, by the way, to stop to ask me how tall I was. I'm like, how about we move off the street and then I'll tell you. Like, he's like, well, how tall are you? I'm like, move off the damn street. Like, what are you stopping here in the middle of the street for? Like, get on the sidewalk and talk to me. So we got on the sidewalk and stuff and got in there and hang whatever. Had our food. It was good. Desserts were good. Wrapped up there, head back home. On the way home, we drove down a little, kind of one of the roads we don't usually, Apparently he's lived here. He's lived in Ormond in his whole damn life. I've never been on that street. Found a little park area. Found a little spot in that. Kind of chatted and stuff. Just kind of took our time driving home. Found a couple new little things to look at and whatnot. And then from there, got to the house. reached out, told the dog that was getting dropped off today that I was about home and they could head over and I went to. So they dropped the dog off about noon. Everything's good there. Hung out with the dogs all getting along great. Everybody's having fun. Went out, decided to run up and check on my Suburban because I'd offered him another bribe to get my truck done by this evening, and they were at least working on it, but it was not gonna be done. Apparently they just now got around to finding out that they're missing a bracket to hold the calipers on the front brakes, so nothing they do will be able to put it all together because they don't have all the parts even, but even the air conditioner's not finished, so that's not their only excuse. They're using that as like, well, that's why it's not done. I'm like, well, everything else ain't done either. What the hell? And had you messed with this thing in the last 8 weeks, you would have had 16 weeks, whatever, you would have already known that bracket was missing. So they've contacted the company and the bracket's supposedly being mailed to my house, so we'll see how it goes, if it shows up or not. How's it going? So we'll see if it even shows up or not and how it goes down, but get that put together. They're still flaring my brake lines and stuff, which is ridiculous because part of the agreement was they were putting I bought all new stainless brake lines to install, and he decided he wasn't gonna have time to do that, and whatever. And I'm like, that was part of the agreement, we fucking paid for it, but at this point I don't give a shit. Give me back my damn truck, get it on rollers, just make it roll. I'll pick it up on the trailer and I'll finish it at home. I don't give a shit. Like, it's just ridiculous. So I was not happy. At least I saw they were working on it when I showed up, so that made me feel a little bit better, but still not done. And I'm just so over it. So I went looking around trying to find basically a cost to do a garage. So I called Lowe's, or I called Home Depot, and to see like Menards has like a kit. You can just kind of like, I want a garage this big, and then you hit like print, he'll print you out a sheet of cut list. Like, you need 1,700 2x4s, you need this many Raptors, you need this many shingles, blah blah. And apparently I guess Home Depot doesn't have anything like that at all. So they don't have a way to I have to count out my own 2x4s. I need 60 for that wall and so on and so forth, whatever. So I got to do that myself. But I was kind of looking to see what the price would be for wood stick-built garage for a 24 foot by 40 foot, or a metal 24 foot by 60 foot, or 40 foot, 40 foot. So which on metal, just the metal kit is about 15 grand, 13 to 15 grand, depending on who I go with, and number of doors and windows and stuff put in it. So the slab concrete is going to cost me about 10 grand. So at that point, I'm 25,000 into it, and that's justifiable. But I'm going to have insulation, another 5 grand. I'm going to have wiring for another 5 grand, and then another lift, another 5 grand. And it adds up real quick. I'm going to be 50, 60 grand into this garage real fast. So yeah, that's kind of what we did there. The one guy at Home Depot basically said that he might be able to make a list for me. He's already in millwork area. He said he's off work till Wednesday, and to call him Wednesday evening, he would try and put something together. He said, I can figure out pricing for everything except for rafters. I guess they don't sell rafters there. I thought I've seen them deliver through there by custom order, but I'll have to find my rafters, figure out what pitch I want for my roof. But yeah, that right there was it. Went ahead, went and got my run in, got back from my run, played the dogs a little bit, got ahead and had ourselves a nice little dinner. And my mom makes vegetable soup, which has all the vegetables you ever want in it, but then she also puts a bunch of meat in it, which is kind of defeats the purpose of calling it vegetable soup if it's got 2 pounds of ground beef in the damn thing. But that's what they ended up having. I was still full from the buffet for breakfast, and I'm like, I usually eat 1 meal a day, and that was my early meal, so didn't bother eating dinner. Fireworks started going off fairly early, and it's like, the dogs getting a little spooked, kind of up back and forth. Dogs don't do well with the fireworks. They were doing all right, but they weren't happy, kind of thing. I've had a lot worse here before. So wife ended up coming out, wanted to have a drink, so I ended up drinking a cream soda beer that I tasted at the Bad at Business Beer Fest. I grabbed a 4-pack the other day, so we each had one of those. It was all right. It seemed like it was better at the Beer Fest, and it might be because the rest of the beers were so awful. This one seemed a lot better when you've been tasting stuff that is garbage, and then you taste something that's not half bad. You think it's splendid, and that's where it came in now. It's not half bad. So I would drink it again, but I wouldn't pay $6-8 for it for a specialty beer at a bar. But the $2.50 I paid for it at IBC Liquor, I'd probably pay that again if I was somewhere. Because that's like all thing on like there. I'd probably go there, but less there are multiple evils. But then she went ahead and made me up a couple mixed drinks. So I ended up getting myself a little bit drunk enough I wouldn't have felt safe letting anybody else ride the motorcycle with me. And I sure as hell wouldn't have passed the DUI checkpoint if I was trying to drive. But if something happened, I had to go to like the emergency room or something, my wife had fallen or something, I would have driven there and I would have gotten there safely. I wouldn't have passed the checkpoint. So, but yeah, we hung around there. Finally headed back in. The dogs were having, it was gonna be too much, so we all headed inside early. Wrapped up there, hung out in the bedroom for a while, keeping the dogs quiet. We kind of turned on a bunch of white noise and stuff, trying to drown out the fireworks outside. And everybody did our best. So I ended up eating some snacks and watching a little bit of TV. We finally wrapped up and called it a night. So that's all I got for right now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.